I think looking at these odds, Matt, it makes us realise as Birmingham City supporters, this is going to be a tough division.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there's some very, very good, and the thing about the advantage they have as well, they're established League One teams. They know all about the league. They know what
they've
it's
got.
like.
They've got a couple of years' experience under their belt now, haven't they?
Yeah. So that's going to be something that's going to be challenging for us. But that's what the bookies think anyway. So welcome back to Small Little Lions FC. Now, Birmingham City will be playing in League One next season, which we know after relegation from the EFL Championship last season. And recently, the bookies have just released early odds on where they feel each of the teams in League One will finish at the end of the season. In this video, we're going to discuss those odds and just have a general conversation about what we think about the teams and their finishing orders. But before we do that, I want to put a question over to Matt, really. What do you think the season's going to look like for Birmingham City in League One?
Well, it's shaping up to be a really competitive league. Rather than with the classic yo-yo club, I'm expecting them to do well. I think Huddersfield will be strong. Your Boltons, your Peterboroughs, your Charltons, I think they'll all do it. But what's really interesting this year is the four teams promoted from League Two minus Crawley, they're all expected to be quite strong as well. I mean, and Wrexham are going to have their first League One experience, and people are dubbing them to do quite well as well. So I think we'll be okay. I think we're going to have a strong. We're going to have a strong pre-season once we get a manager in place, and we are going to get some transfers through the door. So I have no fear that we will do fine next season. I think we will bounce back. I really do. But I think we're in for a very competitive league.
Well, let's see what the bookies say then, because let's see if they agree with you. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to start from 24th, and we'll do them in batches of 4, just to give you a feel for where the bookies actually put them. Now, we do know that this is the bookies. We know that it's the odds that they think that people are going to, the chances of these teams staying up. So it's not our opinions, it's just where the bookies see them. So we'll start off with the bottom 4. So this is what, and just for clarity for the video, we're using Bet365 odds. Now, we've only selected them because they seem to be the one that reflects averagely what every other bookie reflects. So it's not that we favour those in any way, it's just that it seems to be the best average. So we're going to use those as a guideline.
Makes the most sense to use the average.
It does, because you could look at a range of different bookies, and they've got clubs in different orders, but this seems to be the most clearly average one that I could find. Okay, so what they're saying, Matt, is that bottom of the league will be Crawley Town. Above them in 23rd will be Burton. 22nd will be Shrewsbury, and 21st will be Cambridge. Any thoughts on them?
Well, I watched the Crawley Crew playoff final, the League Two playoff final, and I must admit I'm not surprised. I'm sorry, Blues fans, I'm going to put a back on our target from Crawley here already before the season starts. It was quite poor. They did look quite poor. So I'm not surprised Crawley are tips to be 24th, to be honest. However, what surprised me is you also have Stockport, Wrexham and Mansfield that came up from League Two, and they're not in the relegation odds in there. So they're expecting a good push from the promoted teams from League Two, but I must admit, no big surprises there. It's kind of roughly what I expected, really. Yeah,
I suppose so. We know that some of those teams, by their sort of level of size of grounds and level of support, aren't the biggest teams, but those are teams, Burton, Shrewsbury and Cambridge, that have been in League One a couple of years. Not loads, but they've been in there a couple of years. So
also as well, at this stage, before clubs have the chance to do transfers, I take these odds with a little bit of a pinch of salt.
Well, we have to.
Because who knows what kind of transfers these clubs are going to have. Because I've now said something relatively negative about Crawley. You could have said something about Shrewsbury. And actually they have this mega transfer window coming. They actually do okay. So until those players come in for these respective clubs, it's hard to tell. But from the initial just interpretations of these teams, I think they've got it quite close, in my opinion.
But I think the bookies have based these odds on where the clubs are right now. You're right; these odds will change if if Cambridge signed Cristiano Ronaldo, for example. I'm sure the odds will.
He does love Cambridge, to be fair.
He's a Cambridge fan, yeah. So those are the 4 teams that that are currently odds on to be relegated.
Yeah.
Then just above those, just will miss out on relegation, will be in 20th place Northampton Town. 19th, Exeter City. 18th will be Mansfield Town, and 17th will be Leyton Orient.
Interesting. So they've put Mansfield now in that second batch of teams, which is just outside the relegation zone.
Yeah, so they're saying that Mansfield will have enough to stay up. They do. I mean, Nigel Clough, is a good manager. He's a good wily manager, and he's been around a long time. He used to manage Burton, as we know.
Yeah.
So he knows these leagues, and did a good job at Mansfield. I mean, they did really well to get up, and
They did.
And the bookies sort of have a bit of confidence that they will have enough to stay up there. So,
Well, I'm not the teams that come up from League Two. I hope they do stay up because they always become those Cinderella stories, don't they? I mean, look at Luton, look at Coventry. They kind of went all the way down, then made their way back up again. Well, Luton went all the way through, didn't they? Brilliant story. So, all the best and good luck to Mansfield. I hope they have a decent season. But again, off the back of where these teams finished last season, their sort of stadium sizes, their transfer budget, which we expected. Again, for me, no major surprises in there.
No, me neither. You know, I look at teams like obviously Exeter, who were a League Two team for many years,
Exactly.
and they've sort of.
Jay Stansfield's team, isn't it? You know, we've got a bit of a soft spot for Jay Stansfield.
Not when we play them, we haven't, but we have because of his link. Absolutely. So so I think maybe those are interesting that those teams have. I think what the bookies are saying that they think those teams may be in the relegation battle, but they'll have enough to stay out of it as well.
And I don't know why. If we can get tickets for it, I'm really looking forward to doing Leyton Orient away. London-based team, small stadium. I've got a feeling that's just going to be a great atmosphere. So a little bit of a side thing there, really. I'm quite looking forward to Leyton Orient away.
Yep. Okay. So the next bunch of teams above them that the bookies are saying is 16th will be Stevenage, 15th will be Bristol Rovers, 14th Reading, and 13th Wigan. Any thoughts on those?
And again, it's difficult. Obviously, we're doing it in batches of 4. And because of their league positions last season, I mean, because Reading and Wigan are slightly bigger teams, I think they could push on a little bit higher this season. Again, depending on their summer. I know Reading are going through a torrid time, aren't they? They've been looking at selling assets. They've got that manager. What's his name, Dad? The owner of Reading. I forgot his name.
It's Dung or
something.
Dung.
Yeah. So I know Reading are having a pretty torrid time, but Reading and Wigan traditionally are pretty big clubs. So if they can get a couple of transfers in, who knows? They might be able to push forward a little bit. But again. No massive surprises there for me.
Yeah, Reading had a torrid time last season with points deductions,
but they still did okay.
They did. They got a good manager there, Ruben Sellers, and he used to manage Wolves actually, and he's done a fantastic job at Reading given the situation they're in, and their fans. I feel so sorry for them. They don't know what's going on with their club. There was rumours that their training ground was being sold. They had points deductions, and they still managed with all those points deductions to. Survived last season. I got a feeling that they might finish higher than that.
Yeah,
I just think that. But remember, these are bookies' odds.
I think Wigan might as well.
Yeah. Wigan are another team that, in a similar vein as Reading, really, could push higher. So maybe the bookies have been a bit mean with those two, possibly.
Yeah.
Have
you got the information? Where did Stevenage finish last season? Do you know?
They were mid-table.
Were they mid-table?
Yeah, but they was. Steve Evans. I think in fact, actually, I think they had a chance to get into the playoffs.
I thought they finished about 7th.
In fact, actually, they had a chance to get into the playoffs. I think there's only like 1 or 2 games to go. That's why Steve Evans went to Rotherham, because they'd lost their game that could have got them to the playoffs. So they had a really good season as well.
So
I
again,
think the bookies actually with Stevenage have actually put them further down the table.
So again, Wigan. Because we've agreed with the previous 2 points, so we're agreeing really Wigan, Reading and Stevenage could push higher than what the bookies are predicting them there.
But based upon what they did last season, if Reading can get I don't know what their situation with their ownership. Maybe Reading fans, if you're watching this, just let us know what's happening with your ownership. We know that there was an offer made, and I don't know if it's been ratified or completed yet. But I think that's going to make all the difference for them. I think those teams could finish slightly higher.
And again, Dad, we are a family-friendly podcast. We don't wish ill on anything or anyone, and we know what it's like to have a club in turmoil, don't we? So we kind of know. I mean, it's never been as bad as what Reading's going through. Selling the training ground and selling assets left, right, and centre to try and balance the books. But we know what it's like to have torrid owners. We know what it's like. So we really empathise with your position, and we really hope this gets rectified quickly because they're not, in Man City, Man United, but Reading are still a big club in the context of English football, the history of English football. They have been a Premier League side and, not a bad team. And again, we don't like to see clubs struggling on that level. So, I hope it does turn around and Reading can sort those issues out.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of the away grounds I'm looking forward to going to next season as well, Reading. Then we have the next bunch of 4. We have in 12th place, the bookies say it'll be Lincoln City, 11th, Stockport County, 10th, Charlton, and 9th will be Blackpool. Some good teams in there, isn't there?
I think all 4 of them have the opportunity to push higher. Yeah. I think Blackpool, they finished 8th last season, I believe. So they only missed out on a playoff spot by 2 spots. Charlton are tipped to do really well. In fact, on social media, I have no idea where it's coming from. A lot of people are saying Charlton could possibly push for the automatic places.
I think that's because now they have Nathan Jones as their manager.
Exactly.
And,
So that's all it takes is a manager change.
And he's a good manager. He's obviously did really well at Luton. Then he went to Stoke. And didn't do very well.
Yeah. And also, Charlton had Alfie May last year, who scored 23 goals for them.
Yeah, so I think they'll be expecting a good season. Stockport as well come up from League Two under Dave Challoner. So they potentially one of these promoted teams that could be strong as well.
Again, I don't know how strong the rumour mill is, but Dave Challoner's a name I have heard in the context of the Blues manager search as well. And the reason why I say that is because it's a compliment to Stockport, it's a compliment to Challoner. He's done a really good job.
Yeah, he has.
So I actually think all those teams you've just referenced could go slightly higher than predicted.
Blackpool as well. They're a team like you mentioned that
they're a bit of our bogey team now. They've had some pretty big wins over us over the past couple of years. I mean, at Bloomfield,
they knocked
6-1, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh my word.
In fact, I watched Davo's diary on that one. I think they scored 2 before Davo even got in the stadium.
Oh my word.
But yeah, they've in the year they got relegated in classic Blues fashion. We saw it this year with Rotherham and Huddersfield. Blackpool beat us at home at St.Andrews. So just classic Blues, isn't it, that we seem to lose to those
absolutely
relegation battling teams.
Okay, so then we come to 8th. The bookies say Wycombe Wanderers, 7th Barnsley, 6th Rotherham, and 5th Peterborough.
There's no way Rotherham are finishing 6th. I think they have so much experience at this level, and they're already buying good players. It looks like they're having a good recruitment. They've got a good manager, again, who knows League One. I'm personally tipping Rotherham to get one of the automatic spaces straight back up. I'm going to put my neck on the line. I personally think Barnsley are going to finish a couple of spaces ahead of that. People are tipping them to do quite well. And Peterborough, I think with the Barry Fry connection, sort of having a couple of their players over the years, I kind of have a little bit of a soft spot for Peterborough as well, I must admit. But they're a good League One side, strong League One side. Yeah. And I think a couple of those teams, again, have the potential to finish higher than what the bookies have placed them, especially Barnsley.
Yeah,
and Rotherham, sorry. Well, Rotherham definitely in the context of an automatic space.
Yeah, you say that about these teams finishing higher, but you haven't heard the top 4 yet. So actually, and I'm going to give you them. I'll give you the top 4 now, actually, so you can see who the top
I know who's coming, and I still think Rotherham are going to be. But anyway,
Okay, so this is what the bookies are saying. 4th place will be Huddersfield. 3rd will be Wrexham. 2nd Bolton. 1st Birmingham.
Yeah, get in. I mean, that's the first time we've ever been dubbed to be top of the league, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
for a long time.
Remember, Matt, these are the bookies.
Yeah.
But they're saying that Huddersfield 4th, Wrexham 3rd, Bolton 2nd, Birmingham 1st.
This is not an arrogant statement. I really hope this doesn't come across like we're an entitled fan base. But if you look at our owners, if you look at the size of our club, the players that we're going to be bringing down with us from the Championship, I think it makes sense that we are top. I would love that to come true. I must admit, I think Blues will be 1st or 2nd. I really do. I think Rotherham are going to be in that 2nd or 3rd spot, and I think all the rest will be pushed back a few spaces. I think Huddersfield will still make the playoffs, and I think Bolton will make the playoffs as well. So obviously, I've predicted a few teams to go higher. I've predicted a few teams to go lower. I can't give you the exact shuffling and the positions, but I'm going to go Blues top, Rotherham 2nd, and then I think Huddersfield and Bolton there in that top 4.
The bookies sort of agree with you. I mean, so they're saying what the bookies are saying according to this is that Birmingham, Bolton will get the automatic spaces, and the playoffs will be Wrexham, Huddersfield, Peterborough, and Rotherham. But then we look at clubs below that they've got like Barnsley, Charlton. Blackpool, but the teams that have the potential. We've also mentioned a little bit earlier about Wigan and Reading could potentially teeter around there. So I think looking at these odds, Matt, it makes us realise as Birmingham City supporters, this is going to be a tough division.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there's some very, very good, and the thing about the advantage they have as well, they're established League One teams. They know all about the league. They know what like.
They've got a couple of years' experience under their belt now, haven't they?
Yeah. So that's going to be something that's going to be challenging for us. But that's what the bookies think anyway. So any final thoughts on that?
So just to, we always like to do a score prediction if there's a game. I'm just going to reiterate, and I'm going to get yours after. So my top 6 then is Blues, Rotherham, Huddersfield, Bolton, Charlton, Wrexham.
Okay.
And I think that's going to be the top 6. Peterborough, just missing out. Blackpool possibly just missing out. I think there's a couple of big teams in there who are as in League One big teams. They're probably going to be screaming at this, going, "You've done my team a disservice." But my gut is just telling me that's going to be the mix for the end of the season.
Yeah, mine is very similar to this actually. I think it will be Birmingham and Bolton that will go up in the playoffs. Will be Rotherham, Huddersfield. So obviously that's the three teams, including us, that came down. So two other ones. I'm going to go for Charlton, who will make it into the playoffs, and that's difficult, isn't it?
It's tough. There's a lot of good teams.
It is. I say Peterborough in there as well, and Wrexham.
Yeah.
I'll go Wrexham.
So we've picked the same top six in a slightly different order.
Well, did you have Charlton?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's very. But again, we're like the bookies. We're obviously.
This is pure, just a bit of fun, a bit of prediction.
But it is interesting to see what the bookies think, isn't it? At this stage. But what do you think? And this isn't just for Birmingham City supporters. This is for League One fans as well. We've literally gone through what the bookies have said and what our general thoughts are. But what do you think? You know the league better than us if you're not a Birmingham City supporter. Let's have a comment below. Let us know where your thoughts are. If you're new to our channel, you're just tuning in for the first time from a different League One team, you've never watched one of our podcasts before, please bear in mind, and you'll see this in our pinned comment, that we are a family-friendly channel. So we don't allow any abusive comments or aggressive behaviour because they'll automatically be deleted. But we have got free speech. Your opinions will not be deleted if there's no swear words or aggressive. So you can say whatever you want to say.
Challenge us, by all means.
Please challenge us. Yeah, that's definitely what we want this podcast to be all about. But we can't allow any swearing or abusive language because we know that families watch this, and we know that we've had comments from people who say that they're happy for their children to watch our podcast. So please bear that in mind if you want to put a comment, and we'd love to hear from you, from fans from all League One clubs. So pop one below and let us know what your thoughts are. And we really look forward to getting to know you all in League One as well next season, and interacting with you as we do our pre and post match podcasts when we come to play you. So pop a comment below and let us know your thoughts. And we do hope you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to our, if you haven't already looked at our Instagram and X accounts, then make sure you do that, and you'll see the handles popping up on the screen right now. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos all about Birmingham City. And also you'll see comments about other League One teams throughout the season. So hit that subscribe button. Myself and Matt will see you on the next video.